Well, hey there, church. Just thought I'd give a quick summary of this week's message. And we were lucky enough to start a new series called Who is My Neighbour? And this series is just looking at the passage in Luke 10, the Good Samaritan. And for the next 3 weeks, we're going to be looking at 3 different perspectives on how to read this passage. But this week, we were looking at ourselves inside this narrative as the person who is on the side of the road who's been robbed and left for dead. And really, we're changing the narrative. We usually read this passage and we usually read it and see it as we need to be good Samaritans, and that is true. But this week we were looking at actually how Jesus is ultimately our good Samaritan, and we have been left for dead on the side of the road. And we looked at John 10:10, how John 10:10 it says that the enemy, he's come to kill, steal and destroy. And actually what sin has done and what the enemy has done is actually he has robbed us of our right relationship of God, with God. And what Jesus has come and done is Jesus has come and been our good Samaritan, and Jesus has come and by dying on the cross, he has restored that right relationship that we can have with God. So we were really looking at us as the people who are poor, spiritually poor without God. We may not be physically poor and robbed, but actually we have been spiritually robbed and we are spiritually poor without God. But Jesus has come to be our good Samaritan. So really, I would ask us these questions. The first being, have you actually ever seen yourself as spiritually poor? Have you seen yourself that without God, actually, I am spiritually poor? And secondly, I'd say, where have you seen Jesus come and heal you? What wounds in the past has Jesus come and what has he bound up and restored in you? And then I would ask, thirdly, what are the current wounds that you need healing? Is there any current wounds that you feel are open, or any scars that you feel like you're still carrying? What are wounds currently in this season, in this week, in this month that you feel like you still need to invite Jesus in and heal? Well, I hope these help, and look forward to hearing what your responses will be.